I'm sure the people of Bakersfield, California are fine folks, but seriously, they should have taken care of this problem a long time before the cops showed up. Hi friends, welcome to today's bonus badge cam lesson here at Active Self-Protection with me, my amazing sidekick Mike Williver, and I'm your host, John Correa.
And today's video comes to us from Bakersfield, California.
LuckyGunner.com is my go-to resource for in-stock, fast shipping ammunition. Whether you're looking for rifle ammo, handgun ammo, rimfire ammo, or shotgun ammo, go to LuckyGunner.com for the best place on the internet to find it all in stock and ready to ship. They have stood by us all in this ammo pandemic, giving us great education via their YouTube channel and their ballistic testing as well. Go and check them out and find great ammo ready to ship at good prices. The initial 911 call comes in because of what we see here on this surveillance footage. That this guy is walking up, he's got two knives in his hand. He's just gonna walk up to this dude and stab him in the neck and stab him several more times. And that guy's gonna finally kind of get away from him and run off, which what you're seeing here is the release from Fresno PD with some stuff from the dispatcher and what the dispatcher is telling responding officers. So now we're gonna see our perp actually come back here yelling at people, and you can see the knives that he has in his hands. Now he goes and steals a car. There it is right there, because he then wrecked up said car and it don't run no more. So this witness is going to drive down the road a little bit, I've sped it up for the sake of time, and find this guy walking down the street and waving his knives around. So they're gonna kind of slow up here and get a little bit of a look at this guy. But of course the back window is open on their car, so that guy's gonna go, oh, I'm gonna jump in and jump in your car with you. But thankfully they're gonna get away from him. Now let's listen in on the badge cam and on surveillance footage.
Put the knives down. Put them down. Put the knife down now. Get inside.
Here's the picture of the two knives that the guy had in his hands. Thankfully, it looked like the initial victim, as far as I could find, is going to recover from his injuries. Our perp is not going to recover from his injuries. He took the asphalt temperature challenge. Dude, but seriously, people of Bakersfield, your sheriff is pro-Second Amendment. Like, why aren't you getting your permits and taking care of this guy? I don't get it.
Take advantage.
Mike, we've said it before and I'll say it again, even though I am very pro-law enforcement, these guys have got to deal with their own problems. The private citizens have got to be able to deal with this. And I don't know why you would just sit there while some unhinged guy with two knives walks up to you yelling.
Guy on my podcast, a retired police officer, said recently the reason he got out of law enforcement and started training private citizens is he was tired of driving lights and sirens to something that already happened and picking up the mess and picking up the dead body and writing a report about it. No one is coming to save you. If you're in this position, you need to be aware of your surroundings enough to realize this guy is a crazy person. He's wielding a knife. You need to get the heck out of there. Don't wish it away. Don't think if I sit still, he won't notice me. That's not a strategy.
And I know people are going to say, oh, this is California, and so people can't carry firearms. That's actually not true. Most of California is functionally shall issue CCW. It's just a few counties that are the most populous ones that's not the case. I would never recommend someone carry dirty, of course, but you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely. Our friend Wendy Halfin in San Diego County, they've gone from like something like 100 CCW permits to 5,000 in recent months. So look into it. It's changed. If you're in California, look into it. Get your CCW.
Yeah, and again, the officers afterwards finally stopping this guy does not make that guy unstabbed in the neck. So get the heck out of there. Likewise, okay, finally everybody gets out of the case on this one, but this dude is then going to go and carjack a car and just basically go on a rampage because police can't be in all places at all times. And now this next one, you see these folks that are filming on their cell phone while this guy, and they're going to go find him. I just find this to be wildly just a bad idea.
I think what they were trying to do was get an ID on this guy to give police. I'm hoping that's what they were trying to do, which is, I mean, it's admirable. You got a picture of him? Okay, good, get out of there. Save the picture for the cops and get out of there. I would recommend not doing this in the first place, but if that's what you're doing, you got your film, you got your picture of him, you're good. Get out of there. Because this guy could have closed the distance to this car faster than we would think.
Well, and of course, I think they're turning right on this street where all the action ended up happening, right? So who knows that they could have turned right there, maybe traffic blocks up, whatever. I'd say the biggest thing I'd say here is, why is your window down? Why, hopefully your doors are locked, but he can jump in through that window too. If you're gonna take a risk like this, be smart enough to lock your doors, roll your window up, and probably better off what you talked about. Don't be there to begin with.
Yeah, the last thing you want is SoCal Edward Scissorhands in your back seat when you're trying to make your escape.
Nice, SoCal Edward Scissorhands.
You like that?
That's quality. I appreciate that. Okay, thankfully then, when this guy is going to charge at them, that the traffic opens up in front of them, that they're able to get away from this guy. And great on that. Now, as we go to the badge cam here, this officer showing up knows this guy is bad in many, many ways. And I think this officer does a really exemplary job, Mike. First and foremost, I want to say I love the fact that he uses a muzzle depressed position. He's got enough distance from this guy that he wants to be able to see all of him. So rather than getting up and trying to see him through his sights, he depresses his muzzle to what we might call a ready position or a depressed muzzle position, so that he's got better visibility because he's got time and distance to do so.
If you're at home, wherever you're watching this, and you don't understand the concept, put your hands up in front of you like you're holding a gun and cover something on the wall. If your hands are in front of you, the gun's in your hand, you can't see what you're looking at. So that depressed position where usually the muzzle's aimed somewhere around the feet. If, God forbid, there's a negligent discharge, it's much less serious, hopefully. There's a million reasons to do this, but mainly you can see the hands and see what the hands are doing. We've done this on the range. To get from this position to a firing position takes tenths of a second.
Yeah, 0.5 tops when you are good and confident. So this position is actually just slightly less threatening. You're not actually pointing a gun at somebody. It also very fast to get on target if you need to, allows you much better visibility. Practice this. If you never draw to a depressed muzzle position, I think you're wrong. Now, dude walking you down, now the gun comes up. And I want to note that I think the officer did the exact right thing here. When he had time, he didn't shoot. He issued commands. But now the guy is lunging, and you can see the lunge that he is lunging. And because of that, now it goes from, can I shoot this guy, to I have to shoot this guy, or he's going to stab the heck out of me with his knives.
He has shown his intent, means, and opportunity a number of times already in previous encounters with private citizens. I mean, honestly, the minute he starts walking towards you and he's yelling and screaming and he's wielding those knives, you have no choice at this point. There's nowhere for him to retreat, as we're going to see here in a moment. Nowhere for him to go. He's absolutely forced his hand to shoot here.
And so a good reminder here, while you're driving up, make sure you remind yourself of your marksmanship fundamentals. Make sure you remind yourself, man, I got to have all the grip I need, see enough of my sights, have enough trigger modulation to get this guy. Because if you look, his backstop stinks. It's not terrible, but look just to the left. You can see there's an innocent bystander. His partner over there on the far left, his backstop is the road, and so nobody has a clean backstop here. So you've got to hit your shots. Now, that being said, we got a couple of the shots here. I really want to spend a minute talking about this private citizen, because you see him kind of wandering around, like staying away, but now this guy's walking the cops down and he's kind of checking it out, going, oh, this could be something to see. Again, another bad idea.
Couple things. If you're this person, this guy, he's at work minding his own business, and now he sees this going down, trust me when I tell you, you don't want to watch what's about to happen. You don't want that. You don't need that. You don't want that in your head. Second of all, you've got pretty good cover behind this this forklift here. Get behind that if you can, or run away and get out of there as quickly as you possibly can. You don't want to be anywhere near this when it starts to happen, because what you don't know is where there's another officer. There's a million variables here where you can end up getting hurt. So.
Yeah, and again, as a law enforcement officer, you have to expect that every bystander is going to be dumb enough to get right in your backstop, right?
Because they are.
They are going to absolutely do that. As a bystander, get out of the danger zone. I can't tell you enough. Get out of the danger zone. In this case, that might be crouching behind the cover of the forklift. It might be running into the building and getting, behind a block wall or something. But get out of there. Now, as the officer acts again, I think he did a really exemplary job, because watch, this guy's walking him down. And when he lunges, the officer realizes, man, I got nowhere else to go, because he's got a car that's crossing behind him and he's about to walk himself out into traffic. So yes, backing up when you have the ability, okay, fine. Encircling, I think, is even better, using a hard lateral step. But at some point, you can't go back anymore. And when you get into that spot, he's lunging at me. I cannot back up any further. You've got to act. And this is one of those that are so cut and dried, I think there's no question about it.
We try to discourage officers and deputies from backing up in a straight line, in a situation like this. We've seen it time and again, where through no fault of their own, they slip, they fall. That's the last place you want to be, is on your back with this guy coming down on you and raining down, blows with a couple of edged weapons. He only backed up a couple, 3 feet, looks like. like, and I'm sure he heard that traffic behind him, so he did the best job he could do.
Yeah, kudos to him for that. Scary situation that I really wish was handled by the private citizens and there wasn't a victim here. There was just a perp who, got his just desserts while he tried to stab some guy in the neck. But the officer, I think, did an exemplary job in this particular case. Tried his best, did what he could. Guy wasn't listening, lunged at him with knives. I mean, what else are you going to do?
I don't know. I have no suggestions beyond what I saw in this video. They did the best job they could do under the circumstances.
Yep, good job, officer. You covered your asp.